Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Salty Sweet Games. I am the aforementioned Salty,
And I'm Sweet.
and these various assorted spices are our friends. Now, before we go around and meet everyone, I just want to say Summer is not with us today. She had something to deal with at home. She's all good, though, and we love her and miss her, and I'm sure Charlie will be fine. Anyway, before we go around and meet the plucky characters, let's talk about channel stuff. Firstly, a big thank you to our sponsors, Roll20, our virtual tabletop of choice. Nailing it. It's becoming more of a jingle the more I practice it.
Eventually, we'll just have to record one and just hit play.
Yeah, that's... Ooh! I love that. Yes. I love that very much. They are... I know things. They unite gamers across any distance with easy-to-use tools, and that's really awesome, especially in the world we're living in today. Thank goodness. And we get to show maps today. I'm excited. Anyway, thank you to everyone who subscribed and gifted subs, because we did unlock our final emote slot, and the community voted on it, and it's going to be a little pretzel doubt, and I'm super excited. Zaren's working on that right now. Also, we have merch. It's on Redbubble. It's super cute. Maybe you want it. Yeah. Also, there are donations for this show. It is interactive. If you look down below, you can impact the game and maybe save a few lives. Oh, goodness. Anyway, last thing. Here, we at Salty Sweet Games use safety tools, lines, veils, X and O cards, stars, and wishes, because while the characters are going to be put through hell, their players are here to have fun. That's what we're going to do. Okay, without any further ado, players, who are you? Key, who are you playing? You go first.
Okay, we're all clearly very morning people, very alert, very awake,
Yeah,
on top of
that's
it
what's
today.
happening. Yeah, I
That's
forgot
what's
to play music, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm working on it. Yeah, here we go.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
But yes, hello. I'm Kienna. Today I am playing Irene Blackwell, who is the resident forger, artist, and surprisingly good with a gun, like we found out last week.
I'm a girl with a gun. I'm out for blood.
And putting one down for the Star Kid reference in the show.
There it is. Listen, okay. You know what? Let's talk to somebody who is very also good with the gun. Allie. I mean Ganymede.
Did you mean me personally, or?
I have no idea. I am not awake. Who are you playing? I love you.
Hey everybody, it's Allison. I am playing Ganymede Graves, adventure scientist. She is a naval officer, a archaeologist, a naturalist, and something of a skeptic when it comes to all of this mythos business. If you've been following along on Twitter each week, I'm dropping more and more of her background info that I obsessively worked on for the 6 weeks leading up to this campaign. A little bit more information about her coming up on Twitter right now.
What?
And so check it out. I am super excited to be here today.
Yeah.
And by the way, am I the only one who's not surprised that the forger is good with the gun? That just seems pretty logical to me. I mean...
No comment. I'm afraid I cannot disclose anything. Tommy, hey, what's up?
Hello, how's it going, everyone? I'm worried for this week. I'm Tommy, but I am worried. I'm also tired.
I'm worried and tired. I'm one.
Let's see. I'm Tommy. I play Zebulon Augustine Claiborne Montgomery III, our resident teenage boy. Very good with a golden disc thing, golden band thing that's good at whacking people with. But I'm worried because we rolled so well last week. And that has me worried for this week.
Sure. Valid. I mean, yeah, I'd be worried if I were y'all too. So, last time, we did battle on a floating island. Charlie managed to use his powerful presence to keep the possessed, infected, it's unclear, professor from attacking, though the other three figures in their full Karasiri form tried to feed on the investigators. They were unsuccessful, however, as Irene and Jackson proved to be crack shots and Ganymede a force to be reckoned with. But the real tie turner was Zebulon, hefting the gold band at one of the creatures, instantly setting it ablaze. After the dust settled, Ganymede and Charles chased down a Karasiri who fled, meeting Jackson and the wise woman Nera, who recognized the transformed victim as a resident of Puno and a friend. While Irene and Zebulon were left alone to reckon with their actions, one of the fat-sucking vampires arose, as he had only been shot through the head, and nearly surprised them, but Zeb handled it once again, adding another to his body count that night. Charlie tried a few times to peer into the creatures' minds after noting a green flash in their eyes, but he was rebuffed by some kind of force, whose only feature was mocking laughter that haunted his dreams. The group traveled through the highlands for 3 days until they arrived at a hill covered in tall grass. They spotted the body of a farmer recently killed and a black-hatted figure cresting over the plateau where the pyramid awaits. I need to change this music now. Oh yeah, what are we gonna do? Let's do something. That sounds fun. Alright. So, you see De Mendoza, or who you assume to be De Mendoza because he is wearing his hat, crest over the hill and disappear from sight. What do you do?
Nah, you all saw that man. Yes? Looked an awful lot like Mr. De Mendoza.
Jackson says, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Either that or someone's stolen his hat, Zebulon. Totally straight-faced.
Should we be concerned?
Well, considering our previous run-ins and encounters, I would imagine we need to be at least on high alert.
Perhaps it's best that we stay in groups.
Larkin, who's been with you, seems to have been unpacking his, what do we say they were? Alpaca? Yeah, let's go with that.
Yes,
yeah,
they are.
They're alpacas. And he kind of comes over looking more bright-eyed and bushy-tailed than you've ever seen him. All right, well, let's get started if everyone's good. I'm feeling very invigorated currently. So I can't believe that we're here.
You look like you finally got a good night's sleep, Mr. Larkin.
Oh, thank you, young Master Zebulon. I did. I felt much more at peace in my sleep. Though I can't say the same for Mr. Rapp. And all of you kind of look over, and Charlie is not quite doubled over, but his eyes are like fixed on the top of the hill, and it's looking like he's either almost like he's not breathing.
Would Irene recognize this?
I think maybe you've seen him kind of be overwhelmed before, but not to this degree.
Okay.
He looks like he physically can't move, and also like he's gonna be sick. Oh, it looks like maybe the altitude sickness got to him after all. We were all doing so well with it. Mr. Rat, perhaps you should sit down.
Yeah. Irene is going over and she's helping Charlie. She's worried, but not as worried as one might expect her to be.
Yeah. As you kind of go over to him and start to help him down, he says kind of under his breath, Irene, that something's wrong in that place. I can feel it.
Must be a lot if you can feel it from here.
I think I need some time to get my bearings, and I can watch if anybody else is gonna come. I don't trust Larkin as far as I can throw him. Although I guess that's pretty far. He weighs nothing.
Okay. Well, hopefully, nothing too troublesome.
Yeah, I'll join the rest of you as soon as I can. Be careful. I mean, I know you can take care of yourself. You're very intimidating.
Charlie, you know that I wouldn't hurt a fly unless I had to.
He kind of reaches in his pocket and pulls out a handkerchief and just starts patting his brow. He's sitting on like a rock, pretty in the shade for now, so you're not worried about heat necessarily. It's also colder up here anyway. But yes, he says that he will join you all soon. Larkin.
While this is
Oh yeah, after you.
while this is taking place, Ganymede is listening in respectfully, but she continues to just stare up toward the site. And she takes the canteen that is hanging kind of across her shoulder and opens it and takes a long gulp. And then she says to Zeb, without looking away from the pyramid, Zebulon, are you drinking plenty of water like I suggested? Remember, very dry here at these high altitudes.
Of course, Miss Graves, I have been drinking plenty of water, and in fact, I think I'm gonna need a refill. Yeah. He looks at his empty canteen. What time is it right now?
We'll say it's morning.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely refilled it this morning, but like it's already gone.
We're gonna get like 3 steps into this pyramid, and Zeb's gonna be like, excuse me, I have to go pee.
Now this here corner with all of these, there's a lot less glyphs here, right? I can.
Ganymede.
You think Mr. Rapp is going to be all right, Miss Graves?
I'm certain he will be, and it's wise for us to leave a guard behind. We don't know if we've been followed.
Indeed.
Mr. Larkin,
Yes, Miss Graves.
this is your expedition. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, I will. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of overwhelmed that it's all actually happening. Jackson's got we'll call it skeptical. Like the mean version of skeptical on his face.
I think Ganymede has drawn her shotgun and has it broken down, is loading 2 shells in the double barrels.
Oh my, is that absolutely necessary?
Let's hope not, Mr. Larkin. Certainly not among my normal archaeological kit, but I don't think it can hurt here to be prepared. Shall we?
Of course. Shall I lead the way? Would you like to lead the way with your weapon?
It's you are our patron, sir. How would you have us advance?
I shall lead the way. I'm feeling in high spirits, so I shall lead the way.
Very good, sir.
So, as you ascend, once the grass ends and you actually get up on top of the plateau, there is no plant life. It's barren and dusty, with only this man-made structure breaking up the dirt. You start to hear an eerie whistling or piping sound on the wind. And even though it's cold, you see an increasing number of flies in the air as you draw closer. And there's also a smell carried on the wind. As you move towards this plateau, it becomes very steep, but the best bet is probably to kind of go kind of around and up and then down to get there. There is a narrow path that you can get to that way, although no pack animal will be able to make it. It's much too thin, but it's reasonable for people. And he looks like he's going that way. Everybody can make a psychology check. I'm personally looking for a hard success here. Great.
There it is.
Great. Good.
There it is.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Yes. That's what we like to see. All right.
Ganymede is so in her zone. She is both like, she's so thrilled to be finally here and seeing this thing that perhaps no one has seen in centuries. Mm-hmm. And she's also, falling right into the sort of the professor and guide role. She's now, I must ask, if you see any artifacts of any kind, anything at all, lying around, please don't pick it up. It's important that its exact location be noted for future research before it's examined. This will just be our preliminary survey, shall we say. So just don't touch anything.
Right. Don't touch anything. Got it, Miss Graves.
So, as you ascend with Larkin in the lead, as you kind of get above the site, you can see a few key features. Oh, actually, and I have a handy dandy map. Eee. So, there's a stone wall surrounding this site. It's difficult to tell how tall it once was, as it's now partially buried in silt, but the visible portions protrude from the ground at heights of around 6 to 12 feet. You'll probably be able to get over it pretty easily, considering the silt. And you can see carvings along the wall. And they appear to be faces, but very kind of thin and elongated, with open mouths. Ooh, and anybody who wants to can make an archaeology roll. Nice.
Hard success.
This looks Tiwanaku to you. Like the pendant, like other things that you've seen. And you also see the pyramid from here. It's a stepped pyramid with a large flat top. And without the need for any kind of roll, ahead of you, you see a black-hatted figure walking up the steps of the pyramid. These steps, it's not like tiny steps. They're like 5 feet a step. And this figure is moving up toward the top. What do all of you do?
Mr. Larkin.
No.
Yes?
And she points to, in case he's not seen it already.
Oh, is it someone here?
Someone, perhaps, that you recognize?
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Graves. There's just some dirt in my eye. I'll look
Of course.
more closely. Oh my, that does... Is that Mr. de Mendoza?
It does appear to be so, Mr. Larkin. Is that our destination?
That is indeed the pyramid. I mean, look at it. It's a pyramid.
So then perhaps we best be prepared for more of the...
The what?
Oh, you weren't around the
Oh, right. You said
Curious Siri.
he
the
attacked
fat
you,
suckers.
Right. Sure. Of course. Young Master Zebulon. Well,
Now they've all seen them too. Now this ain't any sort of fleet of fancy here, Mr. Larkin. These creatures, they really do have the too many teeth. A lot of teeth.
Of course. All right. Well, perhaps we should just wait and maybe he shall leave. Sound
I think
good?
Zeb moves up to Kienna. He's like, nah, he doesn't believe that it's just gonna be that easy, right? That they're just gonna leave, right? He's just being optimistic, right? He doesn't actually believe they'll just leave.
I don't know. I look back toward Irene to see if she has drawn her pistol, with which she has proven herself very handy over the last few days.
I think she's drawn it yet, but she is very intently watching.
Jackson Elias has drawn his pistol.
Yeah, of course he has.
You're all probably too far away. So if you look at the map, you're about where 1 is right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you all wait, De Mendoza reaches the top of the pyramid, which you can still see from your vantage point. He walks over to what looks like a huge crack in the stone, and he gets down on his knees. And he then proceeds to vomit a stream of thick white fluid into the hole. I actually have a picture to show all of you. Isn't that exciting?
Of the vomit?
Great.
No,
Awesome.
It's not of the vomit. Of the vomit.
I mean, it's
Welp.
pretty close.
Isn't that nice?
No.
Look, you got a picture. Aren't you happy?
Yep, so happy.
So happy.
So happy.
There we go.
So happy.
This goes on for a solid minute, but it probably feels like longer.
Utter, like, horrific, like, not fascination, but just, like, horrifying, like, just kind of like a, just like a shocked or horrified expression.
Yeah. So, once he's done, everybody from your vantage point, I'd like you to make a spot hidden.
Nope.
Oh,
Nice. So Irene, you notice when he's done, he looks significantly gaunter, than he has previously. Like he's just utterly drained. Only you notice this like with your eye for detail as far away as you are. Like you'd expect him to look like sick, but he just looks like he looks overall like thinner, deflated. And he starts to go down on the other side of the pyramid where you cannot see.
I'm now having second thoughts about heading in there. Anyone else having familiar?
Yeah,
It appeared, sorry, there was still something in my eye. It appeared that he was sick.
little, beyond sick, Mr. Larkin. Have you ever known a man to go from one size to another simply from vomiting?
But if you... Is that what you saw, Miss Blackwell?
It appears so. And she looks over to the other two with a completely serious face. Though she knows that Larkin's probably gonna brush her off.
I mean, if you...
I mean, I did have a friend who did lose about 15, 20 pounds. He was real sick. He got that stomach bug. And I mean, he did look real terrible, but I don't think it was anything like whatever's going on up there. I do say so myself.
There's clearly some type of parasitic infection. We know this already. And we know that Mr. de Mendoza appears to be a host. My great concern at this point, and she's turning to Larkin now, is that he will somehow disturb artifacts or even perhaps make off with them in some way.
That's an excellent point. We should get a move on. We should get in there as soon as we can.
Yes, I quite agree so.
All right. Well, claps his hands together and starts to head toward kind of a mound that'll get you over the wall and into the site proper.
Mr. Larkin, perhaps it would be best if I took the lead.
Oh, of course.
At this point.
Of course. After you, Miss Graves.
And she's very gingerly climbing over the mound and over the low wall and entering the compound. I assume at this point we're probably losing sight of De Mendoza.
Oh yeah, he went. So if you're entering from 1, he was kind of up at 5 and then went toward the other side. He's out of your sight now.
Okay.
So, you can all make your way over without the need for any kind of roll. The smell here is overpowering. Does anybody have anything in natural world?
Yes.
If you'd like to give me a natural world roll. Oh, nice.
A regular success.
Dang, look at you. The flies have increased, and now you can see that they're blowflies, which feed on carrion, usually. And they... some seem to be kind of around the pyramid, but you can hear more buzzing kind of on the other side in the direction De Mendoza went.
Yeah, out, and he went out toward the center of the compound, as far as we can tell, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm. If I'm still leading the way, I think I'd like to move around the pyramid cautiously. As I do, those plinths of some kind marked number 2 on the map. Curious as to what those features are.
Okay, I want you to go ahead and make either an archaeology roll or a spot hidden roll. The spot hidden roll needs to be hard, though.
Okay.
The archaeology roll can be regular.
Okay, I'll make that as an archaeology roll then. And I'll use the 1 point of luck.
Sure. Roll 20, hey, listen. So as you come down, you are, like, from that vantage point in particular, you are going to spot these things. And they seem to be stone slabs that you, as an archaeologist, would recognize as chimneys.
It's very strange. Certainly never seen anything quite like that at either a burial site or a ritual site. As we're going to pass very close to one, aren't we?
Which way are you going?
So we came in at 1. And we're over the wall, close to the...
Are you going east or south?
I'm inclined east here, unless others would say something to intervene with that.
Great.
So to the east then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Zeb is just at this point, he's just gonna follow y'all, but he's keeping his head on a swivel. He is more concerned about the flesh suckers than he is about the ruins around him.
Okay, so you can start to head east. As you get closer, like I said, it's basically a stone slab. That seems, if you could move it, you probably can't with the people that you have and not really having big equipment. You probably could not move it.
Mm-hmm. But it seems, I imagine that it's covering a chimney of some sort.
Right, yes. As you get closer to the pyramid, the structure's mostly submerged in the earth. So really there's only 5, like the top 5 steps that you can see. Very rough hewn stone, cracked with age. Like I said, each one's about 5 feet in height. And you can hear again the blowflies up near the top. Ooh, actually, everybody make a listen check. This is gonna need to be hard or extreme.
This is what I meant when I was worried about this.
All right. The piping, that piping noise, you think it's probably the wind kind of going through this structure, but that's all you hear. And as you head east, as you head east, I need everyone to make either a spot hidden roll or a luck roll.
Just make a straight line.
Here it is. Oh my god. Critical fail. That's like 3 critical fails so
God,
far,
is that
I
what
think.
you
Yeah.
rolled?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
we've had 3 critical failures in this session.
We've gone the other way on the Roll20 scale.
I blame Summer, honestly. Like
The
this is-
Roll20 algorithm remembers.
Yeah. Okay.
It will not forget.
Never forgets.
Well. Oh, Irene, you have advantage on spot hidden rolls.
Oh, that's true. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
reminding me.
Yeah. Okay.
Another success.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Because Irene's faster than all of you. Irene, you see Ganymede kind of skirting around. Definitely seems to be like keeping her eyes out and everything, but you spot kind of as the wind blows, it uncovers one of like another one of these stone slabs, except you see that this one is cracked and she is about to put her weight on it.
Miss Graves?
Yes, of course.
Don't be careful moving forward. There's and she'll point at the slab.
Yeah, Ganymede now looking down as the wind blows the silt out of the way. This slab is cracked, and if you had put your weight on it, you would have fallen.
I'm sure there's mattresses or something at the bottom. I'm sure it would have been fun.
Yeah, there's something at the bottom.
Ganymede notices and she thank you. If Zeb is right there nearby, she hands Zeb her shotgun and she gets down on her hands and knees on stable ground next to the crack in this in this stone. She pulls out a small brush and begins to sort of brush silt out of it. And I want to like put my ear to it and listen. I want to see if I can smell any odor coming up that might be coming up out of what's beneath.
Sure. Okay, so a couple things. Why don't you make a listen roll, Ganymede? Zebulon.
And I'm gonna take advantage on this, okay?
Okay. Zebulon, make a psychology roll.
Okay, psychology roll. Should I burn one of my advantages? No, not yet. Not yet. Given the way I'm rolling today.
I'm going to use 6 luck to get this listen roll.
Okay.
Whoops, and I just rolled luck by accident. I'm sorry.
No worries. Okay. So, it's very faint, but you think you can hear some kind of movement, maybe like footsteps. Very distant.
Mm-hmm. I'm standing back up and brushing off, reaching out to take my weapon back from Zeb. I could have sworn I heard something moving down there. Perhaps Mr. de Mendoza is not the only one of his kind here.
I wouldn't be too surprised, unfortunately.
And we are still going forward with this.
Well, of course, Mr. Montgomery, there is a discovery to be made. Jackson is like behind Larkin and is just giving him the stink eye. It looks like he's got something to say, but he's not gonna say it in front of him.
Zeb also reluctantly gives the gun back to Kennedy.
If Zeb doesn't have that, if you don't have that gun out that I got for you, do you? Is it out already or?
Zeb has the gold band out. That's been the most successful thing for him so far. He's just got that, ready at hand. And is just like, he's probably not like, nah. No, he'd be carrying it around, like he'd have it out in front of him. Just gonna use it as a club. This ancient artifact.
So, from this position, Ganymede, as you pull your ear away, all of you kind of, on this next breeze, get an overwhelming smell of rotten meat. And you think also from this vantage point, you guys are at, y'all are all at 3. You should be able to see de Mendoza, and you don't.
What is there anything of interest in that pile of what appears to be a pile of rubble at 3? What do we see there?
That's the broken slab.
Oh, got it. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry. Got it.
Do you think he went inside? Is there a way to get inside, Mr. Larkin?
I have no idea. What do you think, Miss Graves?
Well, we've seen some artifacts that would appear to come from this site, and she nods toward the gold bar. That would indicate that there is some way in.
Right, perhaps. But it almost looks like if someone had come through here, wouldn't the top be completely off? So
the top of the pyramid, is that what he's referring to?
No, the top of the slab.
perhaps there's some other entrance that we've not yet discovered.
Perhaps, or maybe one of the other ones is more movable. Something like that. But there's really no rush. We could all look around a bit, but yes, it is very important that we get in there. In fact, maybe this is a good entry point.
All of those things that are marked 2 are these same kinds of slabs. It's just that the one at 3 was cracked in that way. Am I understanding correctly?
Yes.
Okay. I think Ganymede is just noting to herself the strange arrangement of them. If there was some risk that she could have fallen had she stepped into that spot. Do I think that perhaps it could be opened there?
Yeah. You could either work on like half of it. I mean, it is like cracked. Like if you had stepped on it, you'd be down.
Yeah.
You definitely think that it's possible. You don't know if it's a chimney.
Okay.
You don't know how far it drops.
Yeah. I'm looking back toward Irene and toward Jackson Elias. What are your thoughts?
Who are you addressing?
Either.
Okay.
I think looking toward Irene first, but
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. She looked kind of towards the gold band that Zeb is holding. We might want to look for where that was taken. If this is the same site. That this was all connected.
Now that is a very smart idea, Miss Blackwell.
Right, that's why De Mendoza's here. He's the same De Mendoza that's in that old journal. That's all connected to this gold artifact. And she pulls out her sketchbook and these other patternings, other things were taken or missing or they'll converge around here.
Are you flipping through your sketchbook?
Yup. The drawings of the artifacts are in the front pages.
Uh-huh.
The sketches of the weird vision bullshit is later on. She's not going that far.
Okay.
She doesn't have to go that far.
No. Well, I don't see any gold from here. I don't know if it's maybe underneath somewhere, maybe at the top.
The top is where we saw Mendoza violently vomiting, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now, I don't know if I'm gonna go towards. That was where Mr. Mendoza was being sick, and if there's some sort of bug going around, I don't think we want to go anywhere near that lest we catch it ourselves. But I mean, I'm no archaeologist. I'm no, historian. So you just point me at whatever you need moved, and I'll try moving it. Otherwise, I'm gonna be keeping an eye out on the my head on a swivel.
Zebulon, perhaps you could give me a hand with this smaller piece of this plinth. Let's see if we can remove it, or at least pull it back and see what there is to see.
Okay. Zeb just tosses the gold button out. He puts it in his sports bag that his canvas sports bag that he keeps, and sets that down.
Okay.
his for all intents and purposes, his man purse.
That's
At this
beautiful.
point.
I love it.
And Zeb's gonna roll up his sleeves and see if he can't move something.
Okay, while you get to work on this, Jackson is going to kind of subtly gesture for Irene to kind of walk away with him. He's like makes a pretense of like going to check those carvings out on the wall. Would you like to see him, Miss Blackwell? I know you've been sketching.
Oh, right, of course. Yep, she'll go along.
Yeah. Something's off.
I think you'll have to be a little more specific.
Right. Excuse me. Larkin, it's... When he was leading the way, it's like he'd been here before. I swear he saw that thing a moment before you did. I don't know if... Now granted, maybe all this has made me slightly paranoid, but I swore he looked right at it.
I trust you over Mr. Larkins. And he was fairly insistent that there was something in his eye. A little. Overly insistent. De Mendoza, it feels like would you just, normally if you needed to be sick, would you specifically seek out a hole in the ground to do so? Would you climb all the way up to a pyramid to do so?
No, I would not. He kind of smiles, like, in appreciation at you. Do you think we should go take a look?
Well, I wouldn't stick my face in there.
No, that would be disgusting.
But I feel like there is a purpose to that. What is it? Kirsiri, they're called fat-sucking vampires, correct? But that's the English
Right, that's
equivocation.
The legend.
And he just lost all of his body weight throwing up.
I definitely think we should take a look.
I think so too. Going to be quite a climb.
I got your back.
Yeah, I made it wear a skirt, so
I respectfully have your back.
Seb was probably correct and try not to touch anything. If anything is contagious.
Alright. As the two of you kind of move back toward the pyramid, Mr. Larkin calls, Mr. Elias, Miss Blackwell, it looks like Ganymede and Zebulon are making remarkable progress if we want to stay down here.
Oh, well, Mr. Larkins, I was actually thinking, could take a look up near the top. The better viewpoint will be able to give us a overview of the entire site. Perhaps spot anything that we can't see from down here.
Right. Yes. That.
I mean, me and Mr. Elias can easily do that ourselves. If you'd prefer to stay down and supervise what Miss Graves and Mr. Montgomery are doing.
Make a psychology check.
I have nothing in
I
this.
know.
What do I have? I've got 4 advantages. I'll fucking use one. Why not? Nope. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
It was a long shot, but I thought I might as well.
Wait a second.
Yes.
What's his score? Skills. Oh, not bad. Nailed it. Hard success for Mr. Jackson Elias.
Oh yeah.
You see Larkin smile, and it looks very friendly. You know, he's a very genial guy. He plays the gracious host very well. But as you turn to kind of start ascending the pyramid, Jackson says under his voice, I think we pissed him off. He didn't look himself just now.
Well, let's just keep that in mind.
All right. So, Jackson and Irene start to ascend the pyramid. Ganymede and Zebulon. Both of you make strength checks. You're going to be able to do this. I'm just seeing how long it's going to take you. Unless you critically fail, which I think would be very funny. I guess not.
Barely.
We had an extreme and a regular. Very nice. So I think by the time that Irene and Jackson reach the top, you'll have one of the sides off. Especially with that extreme. Now, do you want to try and remove it in a way that so it's kind of cracked in the middle? Are you trying to remove it in a way that the other piece doesn't fall in?
Yes, yeah, I think that Ganymede would be careful to avoid that if she could.
All right. So
Zeb will take cue from Ganymede, so.
Awesome. I mean, Larkin will help as he can. I mean, he's like 110 pounds soaking wet, so.
Yeah,
I think Zeb tells, now Mr. Larkin, you're just starting to look better. I think that you should take it easy. We'll just, if you have any thoughts or concerns, feel free to let us know.
Yes, of
perhaps,
course.
Perhaps you take it easy and I'll do the heavy lift.
He's like half paying attention. You see he's looking at Irene and Jackson. So Irene and Jackson. When you get to the top of the pyramid, it's kind of laborious going. Basically Jackson goes up and then helps Irene up and vice versa as you go. And you come to the top of the pyramid. And there, the flies here are, I mean, it's not like it's like a cloud, but it's almost that bad. They don't seem to be super bothering you. They're all kind of congregating along this long crack that goes like across the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, Irene is very specifically, she's not going straight to the crack.
Yeah.
She's making it look like she's doing what she said. She's taking a look out over the edge.
Yeah.
Seeing the rest of the site. I mean, it is useful for her. She will be kind of sketching it out. but every time she crosses to another side, she does a very subtle examination of that crack.
Okay.
That's basically what she's doing. She's trying to not make it super obvious that I'm like, hey, check this out.
Go ahead and make a spot hidden roll while you're up here.
Spot hidden.
Okay. Right here.
No, spend 1 point of luck.
Okay, so hard success. Okay, so couple things. From this vantage point, you see a pit in the southeast corner of the site. There are, again, a lot of these blowflies around there. And with a hard success, you see bodies. You see remains in that pit. You see not skeletal remains, you see fresh remains.
Amuse me with a thing.
Yeah.
Do these look any form of gaunt, as if the same like that corpse that we found on the road, or are they all?
With a hard success, I'll say you can see the top one pretty clearly.
Yeah.
And there does appear to be like a hole in the abdomen, much like the farmer you found.
Cool.
It's not as
yeah.
recent as that, but
Yeah.
it does look like a similar wound.
Cool. Yep, love that. As she does like another kind of circle around casually towards Elias. Like, there appears to be a pit of bodies.
I'm sorry?
There's a pit of recently decomposing bodies in a very similar state to the one that we found on the road. Hole in the abdomen and all. Don't make it obvious that you're looking over there.
Right. You just looking around. He's got his handkerchief out because the smell on top of this pyramid, coupled with the smell coming from this pit, is overwhelming at this point.
Cool.
Yeah.
Irene's gonna kind of look down, decide where Larkins is, and like see if he's looking.
Oh, he's looking.
Oh yeah, she'll give her a friendly wave.
He does the same.
Yeah. Trying to not let on that she's a little freaked out.
Sure. Actually.
I'm also super far away from him. He can't read my body.
No.
I'm all the way up on a frickin' pyramid.
Yeah, you're fine. What else are you gonna do?
I think she's gonna walk along the crack. And just kind of how big is this crack?
So it's pretty long and narrow, like diagonally across the pyramid, and the widest point is right in the middle. It's like 3 inches wide.
Okay. She's gonna go through her bag as if she's gonna pull out some supplies or whatever. I think a spare nub of an eraser or something, and she's going to drop it into that hole. Like, not gonna crouch down and drop it, but she's just like, see if anything happens. I don't like that look, Lauren.
What look?
I really don't like it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not like we've been best friends for 3 years.
I don't know. My face is just a very neutral face. So, you drop this eraser in without crouching down to look. And it takes a while, but the whole structure begins to rumble.
Oh, cool. Love that.
Yeah, why don't you make a dex save?
Jeez, okay.
Oh, damn! Damn! Ooh, let me make one for Jackson. His dex isn't awful. Not awful. He just made it. Okay. Both of you kind of teeter. Ganymede and Zebulon. You have just, I'll say you've just finished removing everything when the ground begins to shake.
It's Graves. I told you we shouldn't have been messing with any weird demon magic. This is what we get for coming here.
I grab Zebulon's arm and begin just pulling him back away from this opening that we've just uncovered in case the quake widens it or something. I want to make sure we've got plenty of distance from it.
Okay. Larkin calls out, "Oh, don't be ridiculous, Mr. Montgomery. It's just a little quake."
Quite
seems,
coincidentally
rather-
timed, don't you think?
Yes, exactly what Miss Graves said, Mr. Larkin.
Oh, I'm sure it happens all the time.
But right at this moment that we are here at this site,
I'm sure it's happened before and will happen again long after we're gone.
Can I just make a natural roll check of, never mind. I want to just curious what I know about geological activity in this.
Yeah. Not much.
It's not occurring to me at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Nevertheless, very coincidental timing. I'm looking up to see Irene and Jackson on top of the pyramid,
Yeah.
just to check and make sure that they're okay.
Yes, they have managed to hold on. Irene is probably studying Jackson a bit. And soon the rumbling subsides.
I'm calling up to Irene. Miss Blackwell, it might be prudent to come down off of the structure should there be an aftershock.
And she'll call, "Oh, we're coming down." And Irene will look over to Jackson. That happened because I dropped something down that hole.
What? I mean, how? How is that possible? Do you think
I'm not sure.
there's something down there?
Well, if I'm correct in my guesses that Mr. de Mendoza had a reason for vomiting the fat that he had in his body into that hole, and I assume there's a purpose. And I probably messed with it a little.
Yeah, maybe let's go down.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jackson and Irene start to come down. Ganymede and Zebulon have removed the top of the chimney. Ganymede and Zebulon, you can see it looks like it looks like this shaft anyway goes about 15 feet down, and you can see kind of another like exit at the bottom. The sun's probably overhead now, and that's why you can see it so clearly.
Do there appear to be any sort of handholds or anything purposely carved in the
No.
in the sides, or does it
No.
just look like it's?
Looks like a chimney, like a shaft.
Anything like footprints at the bottom? Anything unusual?
Not that you see, no.
Okay.
Well, it does seem like we have discovered a way into the pyramids here. Do we have any rope?
Of course we have rope, Master Montgomery.
Then I might suggest that we get it out, because we're gonna need some to get down there.
Certainly, certainly. Larkin will say, "I'll go back to the alpacas, and I'll grab some. And I can check on Mr. Rapp."
Sounds like a good plan.
All right. And he starts moving away.
As soon as he's like out of earshot, Zeb leans over to Ganymede. That totally was not. And I'm telling you that there is nothing coincidental about that earthquake. This is some sort of weird demon magic at work here, and that I don't know what Mr. Larkin is on. Well, I do know what he's on. We've discussed this. He's clearly on heroin, but I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. And while that is probably further than some people, it's not very far.
I quite agree, Zebulon. I've seen this before. This obsession with particular sites or artifacts. It seems unwise to be entering underground chambers in the wake of what was clearly an earthquake, regardless of its origin. But he seems completely undeterred, almost as if he was expecting it. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
He definitely wants something here. I think we can all agree on that. Do you think he's still working with Mr. Mendoza?
I don't know. I had truly come to believe that we could trust him, at least as far as his naivete would allow, but no, I'm not so sure. I do wish that we could find Mr. de Mendoza. I'm not comfortable with him lurking around in the middle of all this.
Neither am I.
Well, perhaps while we wait for Mr. Larkin's return, we can look around the site a bit more. See what else there is, at least on the surface.
Of course. Now, there's not any chance that you need me to carry that gun of yours for you. Is there?
This is why we got you one of your own, remember?
Yes, but also yours is much bigger.
That's right. It is. And I think, depending on where Irene and Jackson are, Ganymede will set off to the south a bit just to see what else we can see as we approach that side of the pyramid.
Yeah, it looks like they're beginning their descent. As you head south, though, you are also hit by that overwhelming smell of rotting meat. You see the blowflies kind of gathering near what looks like a pit. It could be a larger version of the chimney kind of thing, but you are unsure right now. Are you getting closer?
Yeah, I think so. Cautiously, we're all being very cautious.
I know you're all being very
Go ahead.
cautious.
Can I see them going this way?
Yes, you can.
Oh, God. Irene's just like, I don't want to shut down to them, but it appears they're going towards the direction of... I'm pretty sure the place that Mr. Larkin did not want us to see. And she'll like gesture down to the...
All right, let's move faster. Do you mind if I pick you up?
If it'll speed our descent.
Yep. He's pretty spry and surprisingly strong, and he is just like...
Bridal carry me down.
Yep, bridal carrying you down.
Oh, God.
Ganymede.
This is probably a sight.
Oh, I think it is a beautiful sight. I'm in love with it.
Agreed.
We all love it.
I want art.
Jackson Elias just jumping down the pyramid carrying Irene, who's like very strong and quick. Like, I think he's trying to be like gallant. I don't know if it's working.
I don't know if Irene's impressed, but I am.
Yeah, so they start making their way down as Ganymede and Zebulon kind of get into eyesight of this pit, and being much closer, Ganymede, you instantly see bodies. Gaunt, kind of dried out bodies. This isn't a chimney, this is like a dug pit now that you can see it. And the stench is overbearing. You see kind of fresher corpses on top. You see like skeletons below. It is a gruesome sight.
Moment
she's
Zeb
had-
sees this, he is... Oh,
Go ahead.
moment Zeb sees this, he is just... and he's retching.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that Ganymede is, she's been wearing a bandana around her neck and she's pulled it up over her nose and mouth. And even as Zeb is retching, she's kind of grabs the back of his shirt and is trying to pull him back away from the pit a bit. And she looks back toward Irene and Jackson as they're coming down and kind of beckons them over.
Irene will nod, but she looks back towards the entranceway to see if Larkins is in sight.
From this side of the pyramid, you can't see the way that he went.
Okay.
Although I think by now you can probably see him cresting on top of the dune where y'all came in.
Okay, yeah, so I'm waiting until he's...
He
over
stops
it.
there, and you all can kind of see him turn back and wave again.
Irene will wave.
And he crests on the other side.
As soon as he's over on the other side, so she'll pat Jackson, put her down. Thank you.
Sorry. Yes. Yes.
I appreciate it. We should probably tell the others what we know, although I have a feeling. And she'll gesture to where they are.
Uh-huh.
I have a feeling they've discovered it themselves.
He nods, and y'all can all meet up again. He has the handkerchief out, covering his mouth.
Yeah. Irene had brought up the shawl.
Yeah. Well,
What did you say your expertise was again, Mr. Elias? Death cults?
that's right. This certainly
Well.
appears to be the site of one.
So the bodies near the top definitely look fresher, right?
Definitely
like
look fresher.
recently fresh.
Yeah, but still emaciated. But they've got their juicy bits.
I think that this is clearly a situation in which we inform some form of authority at this point. As interested as you all are, this is some sort of massacre here.
Some of these... Oh my. Some of these look very old and more near the bottom, and... What on earth? Everybody make a spot hidden roll. Nice.
I
Irene.
get a glimpse of something as I'm staring into the abyss of the ground.
Irene got a hard success, so you can see what Jackson has just spotted as well, and it appears to be the outline of a tunnel entrance in the wall of the pit, like in the kind of north section of it, nearest to you all, that seems to be kind of haphazardly covered with bodies.
Well, it appears there's a way in.
You also notice, Irene, that there are a set of footprints in the dirt that are none of yours, leading right up to this pit.
It looks like our friend Mr. De Mendoza might have gone this way.
Now you can't possibly be thinking of going through all these bodies to go inside now after everything we've seen here. I was after being attacked down below. I was already very worried about whatever's happening here. But after seeing now this is, you can't possibly think that this is a good idea, any of you.
No, of course we don't think it's a good idea. If you and Miss Graves got the slab off, we're gonna go that way. We ain't wading through dead bodies. I mean, I've seen my fair share of corpses, but not like this.
There's no way to get down to that entrance without
way through bodies
getting into the corpses.
Correct.
The other thing is that Mr. Elias here noted that Mr. Larkins was not happy about the two of us going up. have a feeling it's because of this. Or because of what was on top. I apologize if any of you got startled by the shaking. I wanted to test something out scientifically, as one might say, and wasn't expecting that result.
Ms.
Saying
Blackwell,
you
are you
caused-
saying that you believe that you caused that in some way?
Well, I didn't want to get up and close and personal with the crack up there, and there's a very small hole, about 3 inches wide. So I dropped something in there. Moments later, that shaking happened.
You know, I'm telling you, it's demon magic. There are things we should be leaving well enough alone.
I'm not aware of any human-made intervention that could cause a tectonic disruption of that type, even in the building of the Great Canals in Suez and Panama. Nevertheless, this is quite unusual indeed. I find myself reluctant to wait for Mr. Larkin's return, and yet, without the rope he is allegedly bringing, the only way in is, well, through there.
I suppose it depends on whether we want him to know that we know this entrance exists. It seems very, obviously hidden.
Well,
I'm thinking
yes.
that if Mr. Larkin doesn't want us to know something, us admitting that we know something probably isn't a good idea. I don't think I shouldn't be alone in that thought.
Although if we did go down this way, we could get ahead of him. Look around without his influence.
What's clear is that Mr. de Mendoza and his associates are causing damage to a site that is critical to our knowledge of human heritage, and we must stop this. And she's...
Is that really your greatest concern here? Not all the dead bodies around here, not this weird whatever's going on here where they're clearly killing people off and dumping them here. That's your first concern.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is, Zebulon. Our lives are but a dot in a long story of human history. This must be preserved. And I think she's at this point starting to look for the least nasty way to get to this entrance.
Okay. It's a pit of bodies. What you could probably do is lower yourself on the side that you're standing at, kind of like backwards pull up, and try to like slide through that way.
Yeah. Does the entrance? You said they're footprints, so it probably goes. It's a horizontal entrance into the ground rather than a vertical shaft, right?
It's hard to tell from where you are, but yes, it's at least at an angle.
Okay. I think, yeah, so she's kind of figures this out, and, Mr. Elias, perhaps you could give a hand, and she gestures to what her intent is.
Yeah, so we're trying to go before he gets back?
Do you really believe that he has our best interests in mind at this point?
No, I do not. I didn't trust Fell as soon as I saw him, but I'm just saying if we go down this way, we're maybe tipping our hand to him. Just want to make sure we're all good with that.
Mr. Jackson, you are civilized folk from a civilized place like myself. From a civilized land like myself, not quite as crazy as some of them up north. But
Just like okay.
yeah, no, Zeb is yeah. Zeb is not the wisest about things. I can't say that I am very about tipping anything at all. Surely you don't think we should go through with this?
I don't know if he doesn't want us to see this. I mean, usually I am a man of subtlety, believe it or not, but part of me just wants to kind of grab him by the collar and ask him what the hell is going on here. But if Miss Graves is going down, I'm not letting it go alone.
Zeb looks over at Miss Blackwell with, like, not puppy dog eyes, but, like, just like that.
Yeah, Irene does look hesitant to go into the pit of bodies.
Sure.
But she's also very nervously looking back towards, where Larkin went.
Mm-hmm.
The fastest we're gonna get to any authorities is, what? How far away was that last town?
3 days?
Yeah. Mr. Larkins did not have the best intentions with us. And he seemed very intent on having us here. Right, Mr. Elias?
I'd say that's accurate.
It's either we go along with him, and he leads us somewhere that perhaps we're not in control, or we go ahead.
Well, you can't say that I didn't.
We will know that you warned us with your very civilized senses.
Indeed. Apparently.
So, through the pit of bodies?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, everybody make a sanity roll.
Cool.
Are we allowed to use advantage on sanity rolls?
Yes, I'm nice.
I shall.
Yeah,
Probably
I'm
do
nice.
the same as well.
Hard
Success.
Come on, buddy.
Okay.
Thank God.
Okay, so all of you lose only 1 sanity
Cool.
as you descend into a pit of corpses. It's gross.
Oh, this is gross. This is gross.
Yeah, nobody is happy. You get down in the kind of least awful way possible. Yeah, and you can enter the tunnels. So,
Did we bring a light with us?
I'm sure you have something on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zeb might have like a lighter.
Yeah. Ganymede's kitted out for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
I don't even know if lighters existed in 1920.
Yes, they did.
So this, as you get in, it's kind of at, this entryway's more at an angle, like a 65-degree angle. It seems to go a long way. Like, you can't see the bottom. It's not a straight drop at all. It's like a slide, basically.
Do we see any sign of anything other than the footprints of anything or anyone else having used it?
I think being this close, yeah. Yeah, it's like there should be a nice layer of, like, grime, and it looks like somebody has moved through it recently and wiped that away. But you
Like
don't see
something
anyone.
large has slid along the floor.
Like something slid.
Yeah, Ganymede's in the lead here. She's leading with her shotgun, of course. And I think moving at a cautious clip. She's well aware that things like this are frequently trapped. And so she's looking for those sorts of things, but also really working on, following those footprints.
Okay.
Moving as quickly as she feels she prudently can.
This slide goes down a long way, all of you kind of moving along. Maybe 85 feet. It does look like the kind of thing that you could get back up decently just because of the angle. Like, it would be tiring, but you could. And when you find the bottom, it is dark. This tunnel goes out before you for some yards. It's a straight shot.
Unless there's something that I notice that would cause me to stop, I'll just continue moving forward. There are no chambers to the sides or other passageways.
Not so far.
And what direction is this? Is this back toward the pyramid, do we think?
This goes north for now.
Okay.
Definitely toward the pyramid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
we'll be
unless something to
cautiously
stop
bringing
me.
up the rear.
Okay, cool. Irene and Jackson in the middle. So, at the end of this tunnel, you come to a T junction. There appears to be a chamber to your right, a tunnel to your left that branches off again into two directions. Chamber to the right, two tunnels to the left. And everybody make a spot hidden. Whoo! It's you, Zebulon. It had to be you, actually. With the very kind of faint lanterns and lighters that you have, while everyone's looking around, to the left, where the tunnel continues, probably underneath the pyramid proper, you can see in the wall, in the kind of limestone wall, even though it's covered with dust, your torch or your lantern, whatever the light is glinting off of it, you see a band of worked gold in the wall.
Miss Graves, I do believe that we've had some good luck. There seems to be another one of these bands of gold over here. Perhaps something someone else should grab for their own protection as well. Down this left side.
Yes, that's good. However, I would not see us tear apart this structure anymore, Zeppelin. I think we're well protected at this moment, and she hefts the shotgun just a bit. Now, however, if that artifact has some type of warding effect on these the hosts of this parasite, then perhaps it's safe to imagine that Mr. de Mendoza has not gone that way?
It's
I did not
difficult
prevent
to say. It seemed to be a contact thing.
Yes, I do think that it's a bit more of a contacting. Those things down in what was the name of the town?
Puno?
We were attacked. Puno. I was like Puma. Puno. Those things didn't stay away from me. They just burned to ash, or burned up when I touched them with it.
With Zebulon's keen eyes, also, besides the gold, both he and Irene, with her hard success, see the footprints again, going to the right, toward this chamber.
Yeah.
So, if I was to guess, the gold leads further into the pyramid. If that's where that gold band originated. However, the footprints over that way.
Yes, I would. It seems unwise to move forward without ensuring that we've at least taken a peek over here. Looks as though our friend Mr. de Mendoza may have headed this direction.
But Ganymede is talking about peeking to the right.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd rather have him in front of us than behind us.
I suppose that is that our objective here?
Well,
Stop Mendoza?
I'm inclined to think he's the one behind, he and his other associates are the ones behind the bodies in that pit. I think I agree with Miss Graves. I want him in front of me, not behind me.
There's little else we can do here until we've taken care of Mr. de Mendoza. I think she'll begin moving in that direction, following the footprints.
All right. And at this point, we're going to end our session. Under the pyramid. Ooh, 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 ooh. Awesome. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, let's go around. Let's chit chat with everyone. Let's start with Allie, who decided that going through a pit of bodies was the best course of action.
Seems to have worked out just fine.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
I agree.
Oh, wow. I am so intrigued by what is going on here. I'm also remembering, in that whole conversation about the gold bars, I'm remembering that that Larkin seemed repelled by them, right? Or he repelled the bar or something.
He repelled
Literally
the bar.
could not touch it.
Yeah.
So you know.
Such a mystery. I love it. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for next week. So yeah, incredible. Hey everybody. It's Allison. You can find me on Twitter at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y. Lots more about Ganymede Graves, adventure scientist, whom I adore. There, as well as some new projects coming up. In fact, a new project coming up right here on this very channel. So more about that in the days ahead, I'm sure. But follow me on Twitter. You can see everything that I've got going on there. Chat, thanks so much for joining us on a Saturday morning, my fellow players. I applaud you as always. It's such a blast getting to play with you all. And Roll20, thank you.
Wunderbar. Tommy.
Oh my god, I was getting ready. I was tensing. I was getting my mind ready to go into that other chamber, and then Lauren was like, and we're gonna end there. And I'm like, now I'm just gonna be tense all week. It's fine. Also, some of you may think that Zebulon capitulated too easy there, but you've got to remember there's about par for the course of it there. He does have 6 sisters, 4 of which are older, and he's spent his life being talked into doing stupid things by them.
Woo!
So this is about par for the course. But yes, oh my god, my body and mind are both ready and not ready for really entering this temple and area and all the Indiana Jones shenanigans we'll get up to in here, I'm sure.
Where can we find you on the internet?
Yes, where can we find me? Yes, I was trying to I knew what I had to do. My brain just wasn't quite making the connection. Yes, I'm at Imperative Pingu on the Twitter sphere. I do tabletop RPG stuff and video editing stuff across the interwebs, like the intro to this show. On Fridays, I am over on Encounter Roleplay, playing another horror-themed game, The Haunting of Seawall Orphanage. Yes. Which is a bit more Stephen King meets Lovecraft a little bit over there. So come check that out. That is on, I believe we're back 6 p.m. Eastern because they have now changed their clocks in the EU now because time changing sucks.
Time's
I'm
not
fake.
real.
Follow me on Twitter. That's where you can figure out what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. Needs to be next week already.
Yes. Key, let's do our personal stuff.
Yeah. First, I want to say a little shout out to our lovely Summer who wasn't here with us today, but you can
Yes.
go and still follow her and her channel Off the Table.
Tell her how good my impression of her
yes,
was.
please do that.
She loves it when I do that.
Yeah, go send her some love, and she'll be back with us next week, which will be exciting. But yeah, before we get into our channel outro stuff, I'm Kienna. Y'all find me over on Twitter at KiennaS. Best way to figure out what I'm doing when I'm not here, because I'm here most of the time. Big thing to shout out that next week on Friday is my finale as a guest on Tales from the Mists. It's been a blast. I've proven myself to be incredibly trustworthy, definitely not suspicious.
Yeah.
Definitely totally fine.
Sounds fake.
Then what about you, Lauren? Where can we find you?
Well, I've never been suspicious a day in my life, first of all. You can find me on Twitter at thatsaltyginger. I play games here, obviously. Also on the Scraticus Academy, Off the Table, and another stream that's coming up, which I'm super excited about, and I just found out about today. Channel stuff. Listen, we have a game premiering on Monday nights in a couple weeks. Allie's running it. It's going to be super awesome. We're going to make announcements about that very, very soon. Another big thank you to our sponsors, Roll20. We love them and all they do for us. It was super easy to use the map today and hide things from the players. So that was fun.
Yeah. And of course, if you ever miss an episode and you want to rewatch one of them, we have a YouTube channel. So you can go and check out our VODs there. I upload Tuesday and Thursdays for regular campaigns. And when we do extra stream, they just go up whenever I feel like putting them up.
Why not?
So, that's the YouTube. But also, if you want to get notifications of those, notification on new shows, notifications on when we go live, we have a Twitter account. Go check that out. Go follow us over there. We announce everything that we do over there. So if you need a reminder, or if you want to learn more about that cool new series that's showing up, that's the place to go. We are going to be back later today, actually.
Yes, in an hour.
In
Right?
an hour.
Yeah.
In an hour. Lauren and I are going to do some video games. What are we playing, Lauren? What are we playing?
We're playing Resident Evil 3! I'm so excited.
Lauren's been yelling at me about it for a month
Yes.
now. So we're gonna play it. She's playing it. I'm gonna be watching it with a 5-second delay.
Yeah.
So that'll be really fun.
I'll put on my scare alert too.
Yes, we'll have the scare alerts where you can spook Lauren to a hilarious degree. I get a kick out of it. It's very good. So definitely tune in over on the channel when we go live for that. Oh yeah. That one murdered me. Is there anything else we need? Oh yeah, we have merch. We have a Redbubble.
Merch. There it is.
Yeah. If you want to help support us and you want to get some cute stuff in return, go and check out our Redbubble. We have a really cute pretzel who was designed by Summer herself, and we also have the Complex Love Polyhedrals design, which I made.
On mugs, notebooks, other cute things, stickers.
Yeah, so it's a really great way to support us. And speaking of that, thank you everyone who has donated, who has subscribed, who has followed, all that stuff. You help us keep the lights on over here because we do everything out of pocket. So we're making it we're making it happen here. I think that's it. We're probably gonna go raid somebody. So make sure to stick around in chat and spam that hype emote if you have it. And if you don't have it, spam some hearts from us at Salty Sweet Games. So wherever we go raid. But I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Let's all wave bye, everybody. Goodbye.